Welcome. This is Mohammed Jafari from the Faculty of Arabic Language, Qadi Iyad University, Marrakesh. This video focuses on research data collection methods, part of research methodology module. There are two main parts in this video. The first part tackles the qualitative data collection methods such as case studies, focus groups, survey interviews. The second part focuses mainly on questionnaires as quantitative data collection methods, its characteristics and steps of construction. Concerning case study, which is an in-depth examination, focuses on limited elements or components such as event, people, subjects, group or place or phenomenon. Let's take the example of somebody or researcher who is interested in festivals in a country, cannot study all the festivals in that specific country, but will focus on one event or one festival and study it in depth. For example, study the activities, the people's behavior, the products exhibited there, and so on. Another example here is the research question as an answer to research question. A person or a researcher may study the speech by a politician, delivered by a politician, instead of studying all the speeches delivered by politicians in a country or all over the world. This is for the purpose to see how politicians use historical narratives to convince the audience. The other data collection method is focus group. It means the researcher may study a group of people between 6 and 10 who are discussing a specific product or topic, and this will help the researcher to gather qualitative data. It means reasons for these people, preferences and beliefs. An example is of focus group is when parents of children, of young children, determine or study or express their beliefs concerning an educational product. Of course, each data collection method has got advantages and disadvantages. One of the benefits of this focus group is that the researcher gather direct participation and instant feedback, and also it is cost and time saving. The other data collection method is observation, which is powerful and also purposeful watching. It means the researcher watches and listens to an interaction or watches a phenomenon as it takes place. For example, scientist observes chemical reaction in an experiment, and this takes place in a laboratory. The other example concerns a teacher who observes his students delivering their feedback concerning an issue and takes notes, of course. Now, here the observation method is useful when the researcher cannot gather their data through questioning at the moment of the action and the moment when the action is taken place. Of course, there are types of observation methods. It is when the observer is taking place, is a participant in the event. For example, a researcher pretends to be a prisoner and lives with the prisoners and observe their performance and take notes. The other example is when the observer is not a participant and stays aloof and he watches or she watches passively the activities as they take place. An example is when an observer watches nurses as they perform their activities and follow them and watches and record their performance. Another equally important data collection method is interviewing. It means the researcher asks a set of questions through the phone or in person and records the responses. Of course, similarly, there are types of interviews, structured and unstructured. The first type, structured interviews, it means that the researcher prepares a predetermined set of questions that are asked and using the same wording, the same format, and order also of the questions. Unstructured interviews means that the conversation takes place spontaneously and without any set of questions that are predetermined in a specific order. Now we arrive to the most famous data collection method, which is questionnaire. So questionnaire, it is systematically constructed, methodically. There are steps followed in constructing the questionnaire. So it consists of a list of questions distributed to a selected respondent by mail or online or in person. And these days with the internet, people or researcher use most of the time the mail or WhatsApp or online. Of course, there are types, and the first one, one of these types is structured questionnaires. It means it provides both questions and answers. The researcher constructs the questions and at the same time a set of answers for the respondent to choose from. And at the end, maybe in a limited space, may give opportunity or space for the respondent to comment freely. Semi-structured questionnaire comprises a mixture of closed and open questions. We are going to study the types of these types of questions, closed and open-ended questions. The advantages of questionnaires, of course, and we are talking here about electronically constructed questionnaires. The advantages: it allows a collection of quantitative data, and this quantitative data give or help to achieve consistency in analysis and also reliability in the results. To say, so that time the researcher may say that I've got the proofs to the conclusions that I have come out with through the analysis. Second, it is low cost. And then the researcher buys free. It means that the answers are chosen by the respondent and the researcher doesn't interfere in the, it's not like an interview where the researcher takes notes. Now, the fourth point is that the respondents have enough time to answer, okay, in their own pace. Researching remote respondents is also another quality. It means that the electronically constructed questionnaires achieve or reach people who are far away and cannot be reached easily. Disadvantages, of course, there are disadvantages, is that low response rate. Maybe people will not respond, will not, or so many people will not respond, just few people, or the people that the researcher is in relation with. The questionnaires require greater level of literacy. The people, the respondent should first know the technology, should also be able to understand the questions and be able also to choose from the answers. Slow response return, that if there is return, it may be slow after a week or 15 days. Okay, so the researcher have got to wait. And then loss of anonymity. It means when you send questionnaire to a friend, to a colleague, and sends back his responses, you will know who, what type of answers he has got for you. Concerning and these are very important, it concerns the steps in developing a questionnaire. First, one has got to decide what type of information one is needed or are needed. What type of information is needed for his research or her research. And on that basis, should decide on the content of the questions and responses. Then define the target respondents. Develop the question wording format. Is it a question? Is it a statement? The words or the items or the terms included in the question. Then, what type of delivery method? Is it by mail? Is it in person? Is it on the phone? Okay, all these things have got importance in the research. Then it should be set in a meaningful question order. So which question comes first, and then second, which paves the way for the next question. Then one should check the length of the questionnaire. How many questions should be there? For what people? For what kind of people? Are they young people? Are they students? Are they teachers? By the end, when the questionnaire is constructed, there should be time for pretest in order to check, okay, to check the reliability of the questions with a small group, and then develop the final survey form. Concerning the construction or the different parts of the questionnaire, the first part in the questionnaire is very important. This is called screening questions. These focus on the profile of the respondent: age, knowledge, also location, gender, income, all what is important to say that this person is the appropriate respondent for the research. And there is one thing is very important, is the legal issues. When a respondent express or submit his or her age, which is above 18, it shows that he is or she is not still a child, which the researcher should seek the parents' agreement first. Okay, now very important are the types of the questions. There are two types mainly: closed-ended questions, which give the respondent predetermined set of answers to choose from. There may be two answers, binary answer. For example, do you do sport weekly? So either yes or no. Or agree or disagree, such as reading newspapers in the morning is enjoyable. So the respondent may tick either agree or disagree. Very famous is Rancis-Likert scale, which comprises 5 answers that range from strongly agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. Then also the researcher may choose a list of options, for example, in the age categories. So 5 answers are not enough. Or leisure interests, because leisure interests are long lists of leisure interests. So 5 or even 10 is not enough. Matrix questions, for example, there are multiple choice questions, 2 different statements, and replaced in agreed. We've got the example here from a hotel, and the customer is asked to express his or her satisfaction concerning food quality, the staff behavior, and the cost also of food and other things. So closed-ended questions are very important as a conclusion, because they provide numerical data which give opportunity to statistical analysis. Another type of question, and this is which we call cascade formats. It means that the respondents are presented with the question. For example, here, do you play chess? There are two answers. So if yes, the respondent is asked to go to question 2 because it asks about the frequency of time the respondent plays chess per week. But also it is given the choice to say no. If no, so no need to answer the second question, and is asked to go to the third question with do you watch chess video if you don't play chess? Open-ended questions are equally important. Here the respondent is given the opportunity to express freely their thoughts, and thus, and this is one of the advantages, is that the researcher is provided with insightful data, with in-depth data, because the respondent express themselves. So in this diagram, so we've got different questions that use the words how, why, tell me further, and so on. So these open-ended items can be used as a follow-up questions to closed ended questions. By the end of this video, here is an opportunity. This is a live questionnaire online that you may go there and check the format of the questions, the format, also the sequence of the questions, and the length and the answers. As usual, we've got a list of references because from where we extract many of the information included in this video. And thank you for your attention.